Chat, can married women take girls' trips? Let me know in the comments. Let's get off into it.
Am I the asshole for falling out of love with my wife after she took a 7-week vacation?
Oh.
I, 32 male, have been married to my wife, 30 female, for
7 weeks? Dang.
4 years, and we've been together for 8. She's a stay-at-home mom. We have Irish twins, 1 female, 2 male, which have been incredibly taxing for my wife. She wanted a solo vacation break for a few weeks where she would travel to different states, visit her high school and college friends.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
High school and college friends.
Go to concerts, and do a lot of fun stuff. She asked if I would be okay with it. I asked if she could make it a couple of weeks shorter, because 7 weeks of managing our 2 children alone sounded really daunting, especially since work was also getting taxing recently. I do work remote, so at least that worked in my favor. My wife and I discussed—
I don't know about you guys, working remote, it was so cool, but it turns into, oh, you can help me do chores and housework, whereas if you just go to the office, so it's like, all right, hey, I'm working, but when I get home, I can help. Working remote, it's like a balance, man. It was cool in the beginning, but then eventually, like, I just want to get out of the house, dude.
For a couple of days, and I ultimately agreed with her that she did deserve a break because of what she has been through the past few years. And so she took her vacation. The first week managing our children alone was extremely difficult, and I did feel like I was losing my mind. But I survived. My sister came over to help me from the second week on. She was honestly a lifesaver.
Hire a nanny, dude.
And I will be eternally grateful for her. I never directly asked her to help me, but I guess I did indirectly, because when she video called me at the end of the first week, I basically broke down in tears. So from the second week on, my sister stayed over at my house to help with my children, and a huge burden had been lifted off of my shoulders. I was also really able to focus on work and meet my deadlines. To be brutally honest, I did not miss my wife at all. I was emotionally and mentally relaxed, and also had a lot of fun with my children and my sister. I felt a sense of betrayal that my wife had actually gone through with the 7-week vacation. I slowly fell out of love with my wife.
Ooh.
When she came back from her vacation, she was super refreshed and recharged, but to be honest, I was a bit indifferent. My wife tried to initiate the first night she came back, which I rejected because I said I wasn't feeling it. The subsequent days, I had the same level of indifference in our day-to-day life, and she probably noticed it, but didn't say anything. A week later, she asked me why I was acting like this, and I told her I don't love her anymore.
Ugh.
Wow. She apologized for taking the 7-week vacation and asked if there was anything we could do to fix it. I told her no. We pretty much went through the motions the next couple of weeks before I finally decided that I wanted a divorce. She seemed devastated when I brought up divorce, which surprised me because I had already told her I don't love her anymore. She asked if we could do couples therapy or marriage counseling first before I started looking for a divorce lawyer, and I told her I needed some time to think about it.
You know, it actually makes sense, though, because as a man, if you felt abandoned by a woman that you love, eventually you start distancing yourself. And if she's comfortable enough going on a 7-week runcation, then yeah, I kind of can't blame the dude.
I've spent a few days thinking about it, and I'm still leaning towards divorce because I basically don't love my wife anymore. I don't think marriage counseling can fix it. So, am I the asshole for falling out of love with my wife because she took a 7-week vacation?
If he's out there and
I don't think so, because the fact that your wife was comfortable enough taking a 7-week vacation is crazy work. Like 7 weeks, you want to be away from us for 7 weeks, darn near 2 months, you want to be away from your family. That's a very, very long time. Like if Cass was like, I want to take a 7-week vacation, I'd be like, well, just pack your bags indefinitely because it's over. Like we're not doing that. And if anything, we can go take a break and have somebody help us or something like that. Like we can have, you hire a nanny, hire a babysitter to help lighten the load.
And feel all
breakups might be good for you.
These feelings. And perhaps you'll go into that relationship learning what you've learned from this relationship, and that will then feed that relationship in a different way. A friend of mine a year ago, maybe less, had his heart broken in the most brutal circumstances. It was his first love, first girlfriend, and they broke up.
That's when that villain arc starts. It's always that first girl that you're like, this is her, I just love her so much, this is my baby girl. And then she breaks up with you and you're like, all right, you're ready, bro. I've been there. Every man has been there.
And he was just not in a good way. This was his first real, proper, serious girlfriend. Certainly the first time he'd been in love before. I just found myself saying to him, I was like, this is great. This is great because you really only understand what love is once your heart's been broken. You understand how tender it is. And I was like, and you understand it now. You're looking at this all wrong. You get to do it again. You get to do this again. You're going to meet someone else and feel all these feelings. And perhaps you'll go into that relationship learning what you've learned from this relationship, and that will then feed that relationship in a different way. And he's just met someone, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah.
Got that balloon again.
Yeah. You're like, that's it. That's it. And so again, I think it's expectation is the thing that makes us hold on to stuff.
Yeah.
If you can just ebb and flow with stuff, you're going to find it so much easier to take the good, the bad, and the everything in between as just all being good for you.
I mean, it is a good life lesson there to get your villain arc. As a man, you really can't fall head over heels for the first woman that you're like, oh my God, I'm digging her out. You can't fall for that first one, bro, because that first one, you got rose-colored glasses. You're lost in that. No, you're lost in that sauce, bro. I see so many young men get lost in that sauce. They're like, but Levi, I love her so much, and she's just my baby girl, and you know. You're just lost in that sauce, dude. That's all it is. That gushy, mushy, the mashed potatoes. You're lost in that, dude. You're lost in her scrambled eggs between her legs. That's what you're lost in. Take that away and see if you're just as enthralled and thrilled about this chick. Take the coitus out. Take the porking out. You know what I mean? Take the good old in and out. Take that out. And are you still just as, wild about her? I'll tell you something I'm wild about is free cash. Playing mobile games and getting paid, brother, man. Let's see if I can find the screenshot of the guy that's in the Discord that has actually been making straight bankoids on this. Let's see if I can't find it real quick, chat. Oh, here it is. It's my boy. I think his name's Eric. Yeah, it's my man Eric right here. Eric. Hey, Levi, in case you need some more evidence that free cash is legitimate, I've been using free cash for a year and a half. Here are my total earnings. It has paid for a lot of furniture around my home. My man's made $2,300 and completed 637 offers. So you can scan that QR code or click the link in the description so you can start playing mobile games and get paid today. $5 on me if you download free cash today. Let's get back off into this chat.
Partner who shows you contempt. As Dr. Gottman would say, there's a 99% likelihood you'll break up as a couple. Now, why is that? The reason why is because real contempt suggests that you are on a whole nother level than your partner. It's a level of disrespect. You're saying to your partner, you're no longer on my level. And you can see contempt show up in these small 6-second increments. You're watching a couple, I see it all the time. I see couples arguing, and you see the eye roll, the look away, the look back. In just those moments, one partner is saying, you're not even on my level. Like, you shouldn't even be in my presence, right? When you see that level of disrespect coming from your partner, you know they don't respect you. They don't value you.
Oh, there's beer.
There's some validity to this. I've seen this guy on one of the dating shows, like The Ultimatum, something like that. He's actually pretty good. He knows his stuff. But this is why I say, and then chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Women want love and men want respect. It's like you really want a relationship to flourish. As a guy, you got to give a woman love, and ladies, you got to give your man respect. That's it. At the base level, that's what they want. Oh, sorry.
Davis begin.
I'd say the beginning of April 2022.
Okay. The beginning of April of 2022?
Yeah, I'd say like the
Bro, she looks like a put-out cigarette. She's been rode hard and left wet.
first week or 2 of April.
Okay. And when did it end?
Smelling like patchouli and Newports.
The very end of March of 2020.
She looks like she makes dream catchers and sells them on the street.
And in early 2022, were you in a sexual relationship with someone other than Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
White man named Colin.
White man?
Okay.
Why you got to put that descriptor in there?
And what makes you think that the white man is not the father of the child?
The child is Mexican.
And is Mr.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
Jeffrey Davis
And
Mexican?
I've already, yes, ma'am, he is. And I've already gotten in contact with the other party when I was still pregnant. I mean, his whole family, me, we all had a whole shindig about it.
Is she really?
Good Lord. She seems happy about that. He's Mexican. He's got a little bit of that spice to him, huh? That's crazy work. The self-admittance of the hoery is wild work. It really is. It really, truly is.
If a woman wants to take a break.
If a woman wants to take a break.
Oh, if she wants to take a... Whoa, this dude looks like he bit the boom out of a bomb. This dude looks... He looks like the from Super Mario. I'm sorry. His face... Nightmare fuel. If a woman says she wants to take a break, tell her to go take a break. Say, bon voyage, adios.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
Take the break. I would never take a woman back if she said, I want to take a break and come back. I'd be like, all right, it's over. Like, a break means a breakup. Don't ever take a break.
Assume you guys are broken up. I don't want you to be holding your breath and thinking like, oh, maybe if I do a bunch of things, I can win her back. Assume you guys are broken up. I'm not saying that you will never get back together. I'm saying that mentally you have to start the process of moving on at that point because she already has done that. So what you should do is you should make sure that you are in a good place. Make sure you're around loved ones, friends, all that stuff. Don't be running around and trying to sleep with every single woman during a break. That's not going to help you move on. And it's probably not going to reflect well on you in the future if you do get with somebody else, or even if you guys do get back together. So just assume that you guys are broken up, assume it's done mentally, but don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be disappointed because it probably is going to happen.
Well, what I would say is, and then also never take her back. If she wants to take a break, let her have that break, bro. Go ahead, take the break. Adios, bon voyage. Let her hit the streets where she belongs. Because that's the one point about this, what this guy said that I don't agree with. Like, sit there, and if she comes back and it's something that's okay, no. Because the thing is, what happens when she wants to take another break? Then you got to disconnect again. Men value loyalty in a woman, and as soon as we see you're not loyal, that's a big trait that you can't teach, and it's innate in some women, and some women don't have it.
Get back together date is a breakup. A break, like we're taking a break. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm supposed to wait until you feel you are ready. What if after you're contemplating, you realize I'm not the person? What if you're contemplating takes 2 years? What if it takes 3 years? And at the end of that year, you don't choose me. If you feel like you can't do this right now, you feel like you need to take a break or break up. Okay, we're moving on from one another.
A woman who dates a guy purely...
Yeah, bro, it's over. Yeah, as soon as she says, let's take a break, that means break. To a man, that means break up. You put a one in the chat if you agree.
Breaks. I think any form of a break is bullshit. Like, if you need to take a break from this person to either figure out how you feel or whatever, even if you get back from a trip and you're like, I need space from this person for a week, that's also a red flag, I think.
Right.
I agree. Yeah, shout out to her. Because in my opinion, your partner should be your best friend. Like Cass is my best friend. We kick it every day. It's just cool that I get to buck my best friend, you know what I mean?
Like, people will reach out and they'll be like, I just went on like a vacation with my boyfriend and like we like needed like a week after to like be on our own. I'm like, but you're gonna live together one day.
Right. It's only gonna get more and more.
You need to love being with this person all the time. Like when you come back from a trip with Cody, like, aren't you like, oh my God, we're like more connected than ever. Like, we have a million more inside jokes from the trip.
Totally.
You know?
And I'm like excited to do the things that we normally do at home together. Like, just like watch TV or like cook or whatever it is. Like, I'm excited for being home with him just as much as I would be excited to like travel
100%.
with him.
Totally.
You want to have a really good time with your girl? Sit there, no phones, and just watch a show. No phones, watch a show, hang out, get some popcorn. Me and Cass do that a couple times a week, man. Just sit there and get some popcorn popped and just hang out.
Using one word.
Describe your ex using one word. Let me guess. Narcissist, controlling, and insecure.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Okay, there you go.
Relevant. Oh my days. How was that relationship?
It was my first really long-term boyfriend. I broke up with him, so it was fine from my part.
You're looking like Pinocchio's cousin. Shots fired! Dad gun looking like the Dracula from Hotel Transylvania.
I think he struggled to get over it for a while, but I moved on pretty quickly, I think.
Why did you break up with him?
Moved on pretty quickly, huh? What do you mean by that? Did you get an internship at the Beanie Weenie factory, you know? How could you move on so quick?
And then what happened ultimately?
We just didn't really match very well. Like, our interests, our hobbies didn't quite align.
So what would you say is the biggest thing you learned from that relationship looking back?
It's not normal to be really unsure about your relationship for a long time. I was like thinking about breaking up for a really long time before I actually did it, and I think I should have just done it.
How comes you delayed, do you think?
Some like really big issues that have happened in his life, and I just didn't want to add up with the breakup and like make his life any like worse.
Any regrets?
I broke up with him over the phone. That's my biggest regret. I think it's best to do it in person.
Yeah, breaking up with somebody in person is always fun, right? It's like firing. It's like firing somebody that you're having sex with. It's like, actually, you've been released. We looked at your work over the last few months. I've done a few over text, and like in high school, I did it over text. But once I became an adult, it was in person. Like, hey, you need to come over. And a lot of times, girls don't take it very well. They do the crying. They show up in gym clothes. I'm about to get in the best shape of my life. Go for it. Why weren't you in the best shape of your life when you were me? Begging to come back, saying, yeah, well, I was going to do it anyways. Like, bro, it's a good feeling when you can do it, though. My wife asked for a separation, then got mad when I dated other people.
Separation, then got mad when I dated other people. We were married to each other with my 32 male, wife 32 female for 5 years. However, she told me she fell out of love with me and was looking for something different last year. So even though I tried to convince her to stay, she decided to move forward, and we were separated for a little over a year. She told me she wanted to try things out again, which I was content to. We started seeing a couples counselor next week with the intent of aligning our feelings and thoughts before moving in together again. One of the questions that was asked was if I've been in another relationship during the time or any other women. Counselor told us honesty is the way to go here, so I came clean. I actually had a go-to club, get drunk, sleep around phase for a few months and slept with...
Few months? God.
13 women in total.
Okay, he did. Okay, well, hey, good for him. Good for him. Good for him.
Now she thinks we cannot get back together, but I told her we were separated and in the divorce process back then. I think it's impossible to get back together now that I talked about my dating life during our separation, but I wonder if I was an a-hole for sleeping around when we were separated.
I mean, here's the thing. You should have lied, brother. You should have lied, bro. What a therapist know. You know what I'm saying, dude? What was life like before there was therapy and therapists? You just had to figure out your own problems, bro. Like, I think therapy should be reserved for children that have gone through like traumatic things. That's what I think therapy's for. But if you're a grown adult, like, bro, you got to figure out your problems. I've had a lot of problems in my life. Raised up super poor, raised by a single mom, loved to party. My dad was abusive. My dad beat my mom. My dad beat me. I came out just fine because I realized that I was in my own way. And if you just think everything in your life is your fault, you can take accountability for it, even though it's not. And you can take accountability for it and move on. That's why everything that happens in my life is my fault. Oh, you got stuck in traffic? That's your fault. You should have left earlier. They messed up your order. You should have showed up later or came on a different day when somebody else was cooking the food. Oh, your food was cold? Now you should have got here earlier when they weren't as busy. Like, that's the way I think. The reason I think that way, though, is because it's so freeing. So many people think like, oh, everybody's out to get me. Why is everybody on the road? I'm getting cut off. And like, you just get so grumpy with that. But if you think everything's your fault, like, dude, it's so freeing. Like, oh, it's my bad. Tree falls on the house. Nah, shouldn't have moved here. My bad. And then it's like, move on. Because so many people right now are the victim of their circumstances and not the hero of their opportunities. Everything that happens to you is happening for you, not to you. And I think that's the big mindset shift that a lot of people need to have, is that a lot of people think, oh, this bad stuff's happening to me. I can't do anything. No, it's happening for you. It's showing you a lesson, and you just need to learn from it. So many people just want to be a victim, though.
They need space. Here's what you need to do. I'm Stacey Bartley. I'm a relationship expert, and I've helped more than 500 couples over the past 10 years. And this is what I've learned, is that when a person says they need space, there's something that they're being honest about. And your lack of not giving them space will tend to make them feel suffocated and trapped in the relationship. Now, if this brings up a lot of insecurity within you, which oftentimes it can, we can go to places like, oh gosh, if they want space, this doesn't mean they love me. This doesn't mean, or this means that they don't want to be around me, etc. Just vet those things.
Before I even hear her out, because she says I'm a relationship coach, her name is Stacey Bartley. Okay, she is married. And her husband, Tom. Okay, it looks like they're married. Okay, good. Because when I hear these women, I'm always like, because if you're not in a relationship and you're talking about relationships, I already don't believe you.
Things out. You know, when you ask me for space, this is where I go. I'm going to assume it's not true. Is it? Because if it is, let's talk about it now. And if it isn't, and you just need some space, I want you to know that it's more times than not about you and about their own need to recollect themselves, their own need to stop the emotional overwhelm and internal conflict that they're feeling inside of themselves. And as a human being, that's the only way we can accomplish that, is by pulling away from all the stimulus.
I mean, there is some validity to this. This is what Cass and I do to make sure there's a good balance. Like, you know, some days she's like, hey, I want to go to the grocery store by myself. I'm like, cool, go for it. Other days we go as a family. So, and then some days she's like, hey, I'm going to go to Target, run some errands by myself, take a little break. Cool, go for it. And she'll leave for an hour and then come back. And I'll do the same thing. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go to the shooting range for 30 minutes. I'm going to go play pickleball for an hour. I'm going to go play indoor golf for a couple of hours and have a beer. Cool. Like, we do this all the time, but like having weeks or taking a vacation, solo vacation by yourself to get away, bro, no, never. How do I tell my husband of 15 years I want a divorce?
My husband of 15 years, I want a divorce.
My first question would be, have they tried therapy together? It sounds like they haven't.
If he starts telling you he'll change or whatever, you tell him it's too late. You're beyond wanting to spend any time or money fixing the relationship. You're happier when he's gone and you're done.
That's so sad.
I feel like this is just so common that it's actually like frustrating to me. There needs to be more people that are speaking positively about marriage. Being single is hard. Being married has challenges.
Freaking life is hard, dude.
Life is hard.
Life is hard.
And you're not meant to do it alone. Like, obviously, there are really, really great, amazing reasons for being single in general. I'm so sick of the narrative that's like, girl, you leave him. You deserve better. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, wait a minute. Can we be a little self-reflective here? Let's quit going to this resort, because guess what? You're going to find yourself in another relationship where you're like, well, you know what? They're not perfect, so I'm going to move on again. I'm not saying there are horrible situations. It's like divorce is the only option for you. You have to do that. But it's just a really frustrating thing.
I mean, that's a huge point. So many people talk so negatively about marriage nowadays. That's why I try to preach positivity in relationships, because I think we're better together, and together we're better. Like, we didn't get 7 billion people on this planet because men weren't with women. You know what I mean? And I feel like we all yearn for a sense of belonging, whether it's in a community or with a significant other. But like, being loved by someone's a great feeling.
From the Modern Divorce Support Group, I want to divorce my husband, but I don't have the money right now for a lawyer.
It sounds like you're broke.
Gotcha, bitch. I've been asking and practically begging him to leave the home. There is so much tension in the house. I don't think it's healthy for the kids or anyone really, and he refuses. He says no, he wants to stay in the house for the kids. Is there anything I can do to get him out, or do I have to wait until I can afford a divorce? Hello, my name is Billy Tarasio. This question is from the Modern Divorce Support Group over on Facebook. If you want to ask a question, go ahead and go over there and follow me here. You can't kick out a co-owner of their house because there's tension. You can...
But you hear how childish just that whole entire statement is? Like, I just want to kick him out. There's just a lot of tension in the home, so I just want to, like, kick him out. Sounds like a kid. Like, he doesn't agree with me, so I need him to leave.
Doing or that are signaling to you that she's not interested in being married.
She doesn't want to spend any time with me. She doesn't really seem to care about what's going on in my life or what's going on with work or anything like that. She spends most of her time with her family, and if I have anything to say about how I feel about what's going on, then it's twisted or turned against me. And if I bring up any instances of times that I feel like she's kind of dismissed me or put me off, then she says, no, you're twisting my words. That's not what I said. That's not what's going on.
How long has this been going on, man?
A few years.
You have kids?
No.
How long have you been married?
Almost 15 years.
So how can I help, man? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I've talked with a couple of counselors, and they kind of get to the end of the line of questioning and say that there's not really much else that they can do. There's not really much that they can try. We've tried couples counseling, which she hated because the counselor asked her to make some changes that she was not willing to make.
Yeah, of course she doesn't want to make changes. You go to a couples counseling, and women are held to the fire of accountability, which they hate.
Like what?
Specifically, the one that really made her angry was the counselor asked her to put some effort into the marriage, making sure that she was involved in the decision-making and involved in growing the relationship, and she didn't like being given that assignment.
Wow. Does she have psychiatric challenges, or has she been diagnosed with any sort of psychological diagnosis?
I almost biggity bet she has.
Well, I asked her to go and seek counseling on her own after the marriage counseling didn't work, and she went for a couple of times. And I don't know if she either didn't tell the counselor or lied to the counselor, but they gave her a clean bill of health and kind of moved on.
Man, I don't have a lot for you. You've done all the things I would tell you to do.
Yeah, if I would just leave at this point. I mean, what else is there to do, If the thing is if there's no willingness from the partner, there's no willingness from the wife to want to change things, it's a wrap.
For the better. Funny enough, my divorce, and it's not in the way you think it is. I was married for 15 years with the same person together for 19 throughout all my 20s and 30s and into my early 40s. She had an affair, but also we were just disconnecting after 20 plus years of being together. It just allowed me to realize what was important to me. And through therapy and through the help of friends helping me, talking to me, giving me advice, also telling me when I was being an idiot, you know, I reacted very strongly. I let my emotions take over my thought process, but the therapy and the friends allowed me through, it's been 2-3 years now, allowed me to see, you know, what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong and how to become a better person.
It's a pretty... I mean, people, and this happens to people, man. This is why I say you got to keep dating your partner. So many people don't date their partner. They stop dating, and that's the big problem, you know what I mean? You got to keep dating your partner.
Use the stat that 70% of divorces are initiated by women as proof that women are incapable of loyalty. But let me ask you this. Do you have any idea how many exhausted women initiate divorce after 20 years of emotional starvation and torment? We have all heard that the U.S. divorce rate is 50% exactly. This number is hammered into us over and over until we're afraid to even get married. Why even try if it's just a coin toss? But it's not a coin toss. That 50% stat is a lie. Men and women follow a standard romantic contract, and it's a simple transaction. Safety, intimacy, and cherishing exchanged for peace, respect, and loyalty. If either side refuses to play, the transaction cannot be completed. And
this is so true. I had a guy call me a while back, Lokes. You remember this guy? I think I told you about him. He lived in, I want to say he lived in St. Louis, maybe? He bought a whole like building, or like a portion of a building. I don't know if he still watches. If he does, dude, I appreciate you. But this dude bought like a massive portion of a building in like downtown St. Louis and is like putting a restaurant there or whatever. This dude made incredible money. He was making like 50 grand a month. Does very well for himself. And he was in a relationship. Loved this girl, man. Was head over heels for her. She lived with him. He took care of everything, paid for everything, bought her gifts. And then one day she's like, "Hey, I'm done. I don't want to be with you anymore." And he was like blindsided by that. He's like, "Why? Well, what happened?" And she's like, "You're just not there for me, like emotionally." And when he was telling me this stuff, I was like, what he was talking about of what he was doing right. He was like, well, I was providing for her. I was paying for everything. I paid her bills. She moved in. She didn't have to worry about anything. She could do whatever she wanted to. And I was like, well, what about in the beginning when you were giving her a lot of love and care and attention and words of affirmation? What happened to all that? And he was just like, I forgot. I was like, yeah, dude. A lot of men, they fall in love with a woman and they have that emotional connection at first. And then it turns into a providing level of connection. It's like, well, I need to provide and protect, and that's it. I pay all the bills, and that's it. Bro, women want love more than anything, just like men want respect. And so if you're going to get into a relationship and think that after a while you don't have to like court your woman, show her love, kiss on her, hug on her, tell her she looks cute, tell her she looks pretty, you know, be really thankful for everything that she's doing for you, bro, well, women will fall out because another guy will give her that emotional attention. And if you're not giving her emotional attention, she's gonna cut and run. Because that's initially why women fall in love with men, is because they're getting that emotional attention from you. Like Cass fell in love with me when I had nothing. Like when we first met, I was a bum musician in Austin making $300 a month. $300 a month. If I was lucky, I was making $300 a month. I was making no money. She was paying all the bills. She was a nurse at the time. She was covering 100% of the bills, paying our rent, paying for the food. We go out to eat. She's paying for it. She's paying for everything. Now I pay for everything. But it was because I was giving her emotional connection. I was giving her that emotional support and like gassing her up, telling her how much I loved her and telling her how great she was, and getting to know her and understanding what makes her tick and what makes her feel, and trying to get down to the bare bones of like who she was as a child and what her childhood was like, and getting to know her. This is what I tell guys, like when you start dating a woman, yeah, money does matter, especially as you get older, but you need to date like you're broke and like you're in high school. And what mattered in high school? Do we connect? Are we good friends? Like date like you're looking for a new friend. that will help you so much more than dating somebody because you have something or they get something from you, especially as a man, because as soon as you can't provide that, you know, she's going to cut and run. Ain't that right, Lokes? You want a potato? You want a potato, buddy? Let's see here. Let's give you... These look good. These smell good. I might even have to eat one of these. Chat, we hit 1 million subscribers. I'm going to eat one of Loki's treats. Loki free? Sit. Shake. Free. Good boy. But, I mean, with birth rates are declining, people aren't getting in relationships. It's like... We're kind of at a point right now where if something doesn't change, you know, people aren't going to be around. It's, you know, and so that's why we moved to an area that's very conservative. You walk around town, everybody's got kids. You walk around town, there's families everywhere. It's a beautiful place. That's why I say you want to find you a good old woman, move down to the South, boy. Move down to the South, you find you a good old traditional woman wants to have kids and be a housewife, you know. You know, but Cass, at one point, she's like, I thought I was just going to be a single woman. I didn't think I wanted to be in a relationship. But now she's like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. It doesn't work. You know, it's a beautiful thing. We've come full circle. We really have. Ain't that right, Lokes?
Whoop-dee-doo.
He's like, dude, just keep the treats coming and shut your mouth, dude. Oh. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's good to have you guys out, man. Until next time, peace.